Friends, hello. Hi, fam. How are you? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to La Femme en Bleu. Thank you for tuning in. Just wanted to allow you to catch up on what's going on here. I appreciate you. Please subscribe. So, this is really an emotional post for me, and I'm hoping I don't cry as I'm posting this. So, the other day, 2 days ago to be exact, Sunday, my son started saying, right after he talked with his father on the phone, he said, I don't want to go to daddy's for a week, mommy. And he's been saying that quite often. I try not to bring it up because actually he said for 2 weeks because I accidentally told him that it might have to be for 2 weeks instead of 1 week during the summer because I was really trying to prep him up emotionally. And I can't tell you how long he bawled on Sunday. Today's Tuesday. Sunday evening, right before bedtime, actually, he cried. I mean, he was in so much pain, emotionally. So he kept on saying, I don't want to go. And then he started saying, and he said, he referenced these words before, but this time I really heard him. He said, why did I have to have mommy and daddy who are separated and who don't live together? Um, oh my goodness. I wish I could have I could have stopped his pain right then and there. But he went on and on. He bawled to the point where my mom came to figure out what's going on with him. And I said he just doesn't want his mom and dad to be separated. That's what he keeps on saying. He says this is a nightmare. I just want, why do I have to live this life? I mean, these were his words. I just couldn't believe it. And so it just hurt me. It really did. And I didn't know what to do. And so I said, sometimes, so I started talking about people that I know with just one parent, or children that he's familiar with. And so I said, sometimes, adults separate. And then I started letting him know that it doesn't have to be, you know, because my parents are still together 50 plus something years later. And I said, but guess what? Even though parents separate, children don't have to separate when they get older. They find someone, they marry, they don't have to separate. I said, you will find a little girl who will grow up to be a woman and you will marry her and you don't have to separate, but you will love her. And I said, that's what I'm trying to show you, how to love and, stay with her and be her best friend and she'll be your best friend and you'll be together and then you will trickle that love to your children. But oh my goodness, I just didn't know what to do with it. I know maybe about a week or more um, ago, he said, he kind of referenced, that it's a nightmare. I don't want parents who are separated, but it wasn't as harsh or as painful as it was the other day. And then I said, you know what? President Obama, do you remember President Obama? And I said, he was raised by a single mom. And look what happened. He became the president of the United States. I said, sometimes these things happen and we don't plan them, but they happen. Sometimes parents separate, and sometimes one parent dies and the other parent has to live and take care of the child. So I don't wish it on anybody. But I know I have to get him counseling, of course. I've been planning on that anyway. But I just pray that people who come together stay together, honestly. Especially if we claim to be Christians and have God in our lives. There was no reason why my marriage didn't work, honestly. Yeah, there were things that were wrong. There were things that were not aligned. There were things that were not in place. But at the end of the day, if those things were taken into consideration, I would have been there. I would have supported my husband. I would have encouraged his heart, which I did. But I just felt that things were not reciprocated. And I felt drained, to be honest. I felt drained. My heart was constantly palpitating. Um, I had to have constant wellness check with my doctor. Emotionally, I was not doing well. Physically, it was impacting me. And so, one way or another, he was going to end up with one parent, because I just felt that I was slowly um, impacted emotionally and physically. And I'm not sure how long I would have lived, you know, because I was so unhappy. And yes, I know I can, some people will say, well, you should create your own happiness, not look for someone else to do it. And I wasn't looking for someone else to do it. I was trying to create my own happiness with him, but it just didn't work, you know. And so I'm sorry that I did this, but at the same time I'm not, because as a believer, I do believe that God can and will shape his path, his steps, and he will be an emotionally stable man who can stand by his wife and live the life that God has for him, you know? And I believe that without a shadow of doubt. I believe that God will continue to walk with us to shape our path. God will continue to lead me as a mom to help him to be the purposeful man that he needs to be, a man with a heart after God, a man who thinks of his family and wants the best for his family and places his family first. And that's my prayer for him to be emotionally stable. And that's important. So, friends, I pray for you right now that if you are going to a situation where you're facing hardship and you're facing hurt, where you are feeling as if you are drained emotionally, mentally, and financially, because right now that's where I am, and this divorce has drained my savings, and I'm just believing God for even more. As a believer, I do believe the Bible, and I believe in the story of Job, how he lost everything, but God multiplied everything that he lost. He got more, much more. So losing is not an issue. It's really staying faithful that is. I need to remain faithful. I need to constantly um, remind myself that those are material things. As long as I have my faith, I'm good. So, friends, I pray for you right now that whatever situations you are facing, that God will see you through, that He will walk with you, and mercy will follow you all the days of your life, and that you will look back from this and you will say, look what God has done, and look where God has brought you from. So stay prayerful and be encouraged. Until we talk again, friends.